Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, audible.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Good morning. Ganesh, am I audible to you?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible. I think you can start the program.
Okay. Good morning and a hearty welcome to one and all to the 6th-day online national level FDP on recent developments in mechanical engineering organized by Department of Mechanical Engineering, Coorg Institute of Technology, Panampet. This is Sujit NS, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, and the host for the session. Note all the participants. In case there are any problem related to audio or video, kindly send a message in the chat box or in the WhatsApp group. Now, before we start this program, let us invoke the blessings of Almighty. I request Donna Saldana of 8th semester Mechanical Engineering to invoke the blessings.
Very good morning to all. Let us begin this prayer. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, continue.
Yes. Let's bow our head and place ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us here today. Thank you for allowing us.
Sujit, and I must thank the management of Coorg Institute of Technology and my friend Dr. Basavaraj. It's in fact my pleasure and privilege to be amongst you people today. Well, the first things first kind of thing. I take pride, and it's a matter of my a fortune that I'm a mechanical engineer. And when I was a student, my topic is today, I was talking about yesterday, today, and tomorrow. There's a past, present, and future. So the way in which we graduated from an institution that made us what we are today. So as President Beliappa sir said, it's the learning. Learning plays an important role. So learning at the end of the day gives you the roadmap for your career. Learning happens every day, every minute, and every moment. And as educators, as teachers, what is that we need to have is, we should learn how to unlearn, relearn, besides only learning. Because things are changing, and they're bound to change. That is the universal law. We can't stop it. So we cannot say, I just have this particular knowledge, that much I can able to do, and help me to continue in my profession. Not possible. So because things are changing, and now we have to have a little learning. In fact, we started learning and started executing also. COVID, or once in a lifetime kind of epidemic, pandemic, we could able to have it, and we have seen, and we are wading through it now. And when it first struck, at least our country, we had all the issues. So there is a problem for healthcare centers, whatnot. You just enlist. There's no end for the number of issues we had. And even including our sanitizers, now it looks like a very sad story. Okay, after 70 years of independence, we started looking here and there what to do, how to do, so all those things. But thanks to the this country's intellectuals, the researchers, they came out with lot many solutions, not only one. Look, PPE kits, we had to import in the very first week, and 30 days changed a lot. Suddenly an automobile company started producing the PPE kits. What is it called? Learning. Change your production line of making cars into PPE kits with a short notice. And look at our DRDO. So many products have started coming from DRDO, including the ventilators. So we had to import ventilators. So pathetic situation we had in our country. Across the country, we had less than 15,000 ventilators. Now, there's no such thing. Now we started exporting those ventilators. Ventilators of different kind, as economical as possible. Low cost ventilators also started coming in. So these are the kind of innovations that it's what's called as a need-based. Okay. So before I just go ahead with that, I would like to share one slide. Only one thing I wanted to show you. There are the questions by the many people looking at the job market today. Everywhere, whatever you look at, it's IT. Similar kind of thing in my career I have seen. Where back in late 90s, everybody was talking about Y2K problem. What is it Y2K? We are changing to new millennium. So as if you cannot able to bring in the changes in the systems and the program, the entire thing will collapse. The aircraft which has taken off on December 31st will not land. That was the kind of apprehensions we all had. What happened? So during that time, those who were having little coding knowledge also got placed. I know some people from Surathkal REC also in faculty, civil engineering faculty, switched over from civil engineering as a teacher and he left for USA as a software engineer. Okay, what happened afterwards? There's a past. Okay, so I was in Columbia University for a short stint, same time, but I stuck to my own guns. I didn't change because I felt mechanical engineering is evergreen. It is so long we have lives, the mechanical engineering is going to be there. Only thing, what is that you and me have to learn? So it's not that we are not supposed to be complacent. The past is great, a glorious past we had. Right from the invention of the steam engine, James Watt, salute to him. That started with the James Watt steam engine put a foundation stone for industrialization in the world for the first time. The first mill was started using the steam engine or steam power in UK. So that's how the industrialization started doing it. As the number of jobs created by concentrating manufacturing at one point or producing certain goods, so slowly and gradually during 1 century that industrialization spread across the globe. So before that, how people used to live? Look at the past. Can you imagine how people used to lead their lives? Very complacent. I come from a farmer's family. Sunrise to sunset, we used to have work in the fields. And once it's done, we are done with it. Nothing much. Happy. Clean the kerosene lamps. That I have to do. And prepare that for the dark night to come. That was the one small job we used to do besides attending the school, attending the field work. And the summer breaks, nothing much, be in the nature and started doing it. So the agriculture also then, we had what is the thought process, whatever lead we could be able to produce. Good enough for us as well as our near and dear. That's the kind of economy we had. As we started growing, so needs increased. The population started growing. When the independence came, our population was 30 crores. In 70 years' times, we added 100 crore population to this country. As per the recent reports, now we have got 134 crore population. If we talk about my current state where I'm working now, the Bihar state's population is 13 crores. In 10th and 12th passing students, the students graduate from high school is whopping figure of 18 lakhs in one particular state. How are you going to generate some kind of means for them to lead their lives? Meaning employment generation. These are the small issues, triggers as we progress in the times to come. Past was glorious, we were very peaceful. As the population increased, you had to feed more mouths. There's not any hunger. How to meet them? I remember in my school, I studied in Teklagode Government School. So midday meal, what is that very famous today? We used to be given, we call famously there like, the event sent from America used to get some wheat, what you call in local language Wuppitu. Okay. That was the midday meal. So from that state today, so what made all the difference? That is the advancement in technology. That is in the mechanical engineering. So right from one steam engine and maybe one IC engine, diesel engine, for example, we started with. And today we see there is the engines, steam engines started used in the railways, the steam locomotives. Then steam powered ships, right from that else we have moved towards that. So that's how the technology started growing. Or we stopped thinking. Thinking is inherent quality and every engineer should have. And more importantly, not only engineer now, all the engineering teachers must be, you are the educators, will be thinking what is going to come in near future. Yes, we had to talk about past. From that we had a lot of learning and we started implementing from that learning to the new generation. We started giving the knowledge. What next? Are we have that luxury of ceasing to learn new things? Definitely not. We cannot. We cannot afford to just stop learning. So I just started authoring a book on mechatronics. My specialization was thermal engineering. I started authoring a mechatronics book. That eventually turned out to be the first book in the country, published in 1998. It took almost 4 years for me to publish a book because that internet penetration was not there. It's not the cut and paste kind of thing. We had to learn a lot many things. Go to the area, the Grasim Industries, okay, that Kirloskar, Mysore Kirloskar, interact with the people, learn how things are happening and how we can able to bring it together. So how the world was coined way back in 1952 by Japanese as a mechatronics. Okay. So all those things started. And in 1999, I learned something in MEMS, micro electromechanical systems, the small things, minute things, of the order of 10 to the power of -6 meters. So the things started changing. So those things, it's like learning is like your life or your teaching career is like a flowing river, not a pond. So we cannot afford to be remaining like a pond. Okay, I received my PhD, I'm done with it. No. The PhD gives us the license to be free. Freak out. Have some failures that makes you learn at least one route you are not able to go or trek. So you have to find new things. So these are the things which we'll be looking at it. So now let's look at the slide first. Then again, we'll come back. This is the one small talk happened sometime back. Dr. Vijay Kumar, Associate Professor, and A.M. Ayapada, Associate Professor. So for some occasion, this from Amrita Vishwavidyapitham. So will a degree in mechanical engineering be obsolete in 2030? That's the question mark. By asking these kind of questions, what message would like to give to the future generations? I think you're getting my point, right? So these are the issues we'll be looking at it. 30 is not far. In another 10 years time, okay, in another 10 years time, what is that we are going to have? So these are the issues which we'll be worried about. Can you able to see this slide, sir?
Yes, you can see.
Yeah. So this prompted, when I started that day, and when Dr. Basraj approached me, then I told him, sir, I think I feel talking about, because it's talk about FDP, it's mostly teachers, educators. So that to mechanical engineering people. So we have to understand certain things. So these kind of questions are only, or be asked if you have got any doubts. It's not that one particular product like Windows, okay, 7 gone, 8. So how these new versions started coming in. So likewise, even we have to do it. So at this juncture, I take little liberty of talking about, what I learned, what my teachers taught me, and what my teachers taught them. And likewise, if you go back into the history, I'm sorry to say, most of the time, only dimension system changed from one measure system. So first we had FPS, foot, pound, and second kind of thing. LMT, it's like length, mass, and time. These are the things changed. LMT remains same, but the measures of those LMTs changed. So first we had education in the FPS system, then migrated to the CGS system, then migrated to the MKA system, and now we are into SA system. But for that, no significant change in import in the curriculum. So curriculum change didn't happen. When the world is changing, when industry is dying without having the efficient systems, so why we are not looked into it? And why we are just asking the students, you have to augment yourself learning outside the curriculum kind of thing. I must thank President Veliappa sir, because he addressed that. You have to learn something from out of the curriculum. Why, if you look at any universities across this country, I have seen the curriculum. So most of the things, repetition. We teach physics, we teach mathematics, we teach chemistry. In engineering first year also. They study that in +2. When lower education, like primary education started changing, why not we change our curriculum? Yes, of course, as a core beast of technology, you have no liberty to change it. That's VTU. And when talk about VTU, I talk about, because it's from Karnataka, I'm talking about it, VTU. Same is the case with the JNTU in Hyderabad now. Both the universities given a circular to all the colleges, all the affiliated institutions, stating that don't close these conventional branches of engineering. This is the way we have to start working. Why university has given direction to the institutions not to reduce the intake or close the branches? Are we not responsible as a university to bring in the required change? We have to look ahead of times. We have to see far beyond. When we are riding a bicycle, if you see front tire is good enough. When you are riding a bike, at least you have to see 100 meters. If you are riding a sports bike, then at least you should have vision of 2 kilometers. When things have started changing, we also should start thinking of it. And little extent, autonomous institutes are better. We can bring in curriculum change to the extent of 20 to 25%. And as a university now, we are overhauling totally. So in engineering, again, 4 years. In mechanism particularly, I think most of you agree with me. So we have 4 distinct divisions in mechanical engineering. One is thermal, that is heat, whatever we are talking about. The other one is the design stream, Third one is production stream. This manufacturing is encompassed within it. Other one is management. And that's the uniqueness of mechanical engineering. Only mechanical engineering had this kind of distribution of subjects. At least in mechanical engineering, anything around 6 to 8 subjects related to the management will study. And hence, most of the places, including IT companies, are led by the mechanical engineers because of quality. There was a time the Microsoft India's chairman was one Mr. Ravi. He was BE Mechanical Engineering and MBA. Similarly, Wipro's one Mr. Vijay Paul. He was the CEO of the company. He transformed the company from 800 crores company to first $1 billion company in 5 years tenure with Wipro. Okay. So, meaning a mechanical engineer tend to be the manager. They know how to organize the things. They know how to get the work done. They know how to innovate new things. But what happened? What happened? Why did we innovate the curriculum? Why we are repeating the same subjects in the different names? Same liquid in different cups. And showing the cup is different, the liquid is not going to be changed. So these are the things I request all the teachers, all the educators, you must be the thinkers. Think. This is time now. Or else what is that slide which is showing us? If not 30, it may be 50. But one thing is for sure, sir. If you want to realize any product, any service, internet service also for you, or banking service for you, without mechanical engineering concept, not possible. When that is the written, it's a wall, it's written on the wall. Okay, you cannot, with indelible link. When that is the fact, why not we bring in the changes, small changes which are needed? Why we have to start teaching the same subjects time and again, repetition? Why even today we give an optional subject automobile engineering? Automobiles are going to be there with us, but not in the same way. Already what I seen, the fuel prices are rising. Okay, so people are finding it difficult to use the 2-wheelers or the 4-wheelers. Why? That means again we started talking about EVs, electric vehicles. Sorry to say, there is one WhatsApp message, joke kind of thing. The BMW's electric vehicle going to the electric charge station. That electric charge station is powered by the diesel engine generator set. Is it not the market? And batteries. A big challenge is ahead. If everybody starts using the batteries, battery powered, electric vehicle is a battery, basically battery. Be it a Tesla or Tata's ion car, whatever you talk about, battery is a major component. You have to make all these things again, you need to have mechanical engineering concepts. Anything you want to make it, it is mechanical engineering concept. So now, all the 3 O's comes into bio, biomechatronics, biomedical, so bio, mimicking the bio, all those things are again mechanical concepts. If you talk about nanotechnology, reducing the from MEMS to nano, nanotechnology. So again, that is also mechanical comes into picture. I started working in the scaling laws in MEMS technology. The small power sets we need to have. So lot many things they come into. And I remember we used to talk about change. Me and my other colleague, we used to talk about it. And while going to the canteen, but then we're at the Karnataka University. We talk about change. We're back in 88. So we used to tell the students, and that applicable to us for as well. So change before change. Change before change was the statement. One of my colleagues used to use it. Change before change. So we added some things to that. Change before change, or change will change you. I think Professor Basaraj, you know it. In 88, we used to tell our students also, change before change, or else change will change you. You become irrelevant. So that is the concept. We change ourselves. That's how our journey started from lecturer to various positions. So recently in my company, the Braceway Technologies Private Limited, the first time in the country, make in India, made in India kind of thing. We just spoke to my team for only half an hour. Why not we bring in so many components into one particular thing and make one unit? So sanitization, prevention, and around 9 features we could able to incorporate, and we got a device called as Bowie Pro 19. We launched it in the market. So that is the preventive device. It measures the body temperature, sanitization, as well as your bags, mobiles, etc. Everything can be sanitized, and all things are touch-free. Okay. And also it's an attendance system, face recognition system. So whatnot, everything is touch-free. So that way we could be able to develop it. It was first of its kind. So meaning innovation. So I advise my colleagues, sir, you have to innovate your way of teaching the things. And look, now one innovation is this one only. I thought of coming to the CIT physically. It would have taken at least 2 days to reach there. My journey time. Now instead I can spend quality time with you all. You are listening to me, or I'm just interacting with you, sitting in my office comfortably, and maybe you are at your homes. And yet knowledge transfer is happening. It's a technology. And this connected kind of thing is having it. So we need to have internet. So how are you going to get that boosters in between? Again, mechanical things are coming into picture there. So whatever you talk, whether it's healthcare, IT, everything needs mechanical engineering. So here in this particular university, starting from this academic year, first batch admissions from 21-22, I revised the curriculum for all the programs totally. We have 10 schools here, diversified schools. In all the 10 schools, no program is, I can say, a general program, including BA History or BA Hindi is also a professional program. So that way we are going to make everybody understand the importance of digital literacy. So today it is important for us. So looking at NEP 2020 policy, I had to recast these programs. NEP 2020, by the time you reach 6th standard, student will be having one vocation every year they're learning. Maybe near future, ITI may be vanishing, but that will come into the vocational framework. The students will be having knowledge, they'll be having a working knowledge. So these are the changes which are bound to happen. They're going to come very soon. So why to afraid of change? If you're afraid of change, definitely what your slide is showing there, it's going to be obsolete. Don't scared of change. Everything will pass off. Hard times definitely pass off. Nothing really stops you. Remember, sir, the wheel is the first thing that caused the industrialization. That's the first revolution. That created revolution. So now we are talking about today, it is Industrial Revolution 4.0. In between, we never addressed anything in between. So we used to talk to the students telling, look, wheel was the first revolution. Then we said electronics, microprocessor, invention of microprocessor was other revolution, because that improved the communication between the individuals, between the countries, distance was narrowed down. So that's why at least I started talking about that. Microprocessor is the reason for the other one. Computerization was the third revolution kind of thing. Now fourth revolution, or it's an evolution. It's like your telephones, 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. बाद में क्या जी होता है ना? So what next? So we started talking about what is called a long-term evolution. Same thing applies for us also. As an educators, think of long-term evolution. How are we are wanting our future generation have the future? Design thinking. These are the words we should be using very often. Start thinking that way. Yes, I'm okay. Not enough, sir. How about, okay, my children are okay? No, not enough. Why I have to think of only my son, my daughter? Are we not thinking all our 60 students who are sitting in my class are not my children? Sir, they are more than my children. So that's the one concept we have to have it. If you have that feeling, then you start thinking. Sir, right from the witness is my colleague, Dr. Basaraj. Sir, I can take pride in saying, I never allowed any student bring any project from some other college. In my department, almost we did the same thing. Most of the things are original in idea, original concepts. No cut and paste technology we used. So this is the thing which we need to have. Ready, prepared to get failure, sir. Nothing wrong in it. That makes you learn. So we have to learn. First, learn how to do, not the talking alone. And during our time, I used to get into the workshop. When student came, sir, I had to go for turning this, getting the thread for this. I said, no, come, we'll go. Forja check. How are you going to set the Forja check? We can. We should do it. If you start doing it, then your student trusts you, sir. So not that you are afraid of touching any electrical thing. How can it be possible? So start doing it. So this is the challenge of all these teachers. And unfortunately, what has happened, I've been saying that. Sir, I could not able to get into the government sector, sir. So I just trying to get into teaching. Such that I get time to prepare for my civil services. This is the attitude I have seen in my colleagues. When I sit in the interview board, I just ask the question, why are you trying to come into the academics? These are the answers I was getting. Sir, one thing I tell you, teachers make everybody. It's a noble profession. You are like a mechanical engineer. Without mechanical engineer, nothing will take any shape. It's like a mother. Mother gives the shape to the in the womb. That way we are going to give the shape to everything. So understand that. Once you are a teacher, you are going to be a lifetime teacher, sir. So that happens. Though I got my company, today it's worth 44 crores turnover. But I enjoy I releasing my teaching. And I empowered my MD, my students. More than 40% of employees are my students only. They are running the company. I don't take in 1 rupee from my company. So that is the way. And of course, you can ask Dr. Basaraj how humbly we started our career. No side income. It's only ideas. I also started this company because of my students only in Karimnagar. I was the founding principal of engineering college. Just moments before, I was chatting with Dr. Basaraj, telling him I called Dr. Lakshmipathy today. He was, I started Brisbane Technology, so in the competition, he started a company, Maimo Wireless. Today, that was taken over by Motorola in Bangalore. Now he works for his company. Once he was a founder and the owner of the company, now he works for his company. Okay, on behalf of Motorola. After a long time, I had to talk to him today. I just spoke to him. He was telling, work from home, happy. So he was innovative. That man was at 92 patents to his credit. International patents. Not published, awarded, granted. He was with Intel Corporation. He was with the TCS as a vice president, the vice president capacity. Okay. So that way we all started doing it, innovated things, from nowhere to somewhere. Start teaching. Do your job sincerely. Learn. And let's not misguide the children. I have seen my colleagues doing that also. You have to forgive me for pointing out certain things, my dear young friends. A long way to go. It's still a long way to go. So as a teacher, we need to have that kind of sincerity, integrity, and honesty. Prepare well before going to the class. Otherwise, we lose out. Okay. So I talk normally, transform. So we have to transform. When we get transformed, then we'll be having power. That means we empower ourselves to transform the curriculum. Otherwise, what authority will be having talk about, why should I change this subject? Have the understanding. Think of small things first. And in engineering, we have to empower the students by giving the proper knowledge. The knowledge, it's like a foundation. Do the foundation, that's good enough. They know how to build the superstructure thereafterwards. So my caption always will be, make your students as better learners. Teach them how to learn. Teach them what to learn. So these two things are enough, sir. They can build their own thing. They go ahead. So my institution gave me a basic degree. Thereafter, everything I thought of, what is that I can do? And we started doing it. And I take pride in saying, we are all instrumental in introducing new subjects in the Karnataka University. Be it the Mechatrans, be it the CAD/CAM. So I'm from the thermal background. I developed in STJ81 one laboratory, a CAD/CAM lab. And I should thank my colleague, now is Dr. Mark Noor. Then he was instructor with a computer lab. I learned some programming in Surathkal REC. Then C graphics, we have to teach C graphics to my students. So one of student from BIIT, I was his project guide. He designed a gas carburetor for the car. And because of CAD knowledge, then it was not there in their institution. But I made that boy to learn CAD. Eventually, he became, through Satyam Computers, Airbus in A380, largest aircraft has been built ever, passenger airliner. So he was heading the CAD division in Germany, designing all the CAD elements of that aircraft A380. So these are the things that takes you to the next level. So it's always possible. So we have to be looking at it. So transformation. So already I have spoken about change. Change is the only constant, sir. Rest everything is changing. So whether I like it or not, if I don't shave one day, my beard started growing without my knowledge how much it's not. It's a change. Okay. So, and take care of small things. Small things make the bigger things, sir. Like seconds. If your second is right, your minutes are right. If your minutes are right, your 1 hour is right. So meaning small things makes the perfection, but perfection is not a small thing. It's famous saying. Okay. And thinking, this is another thing. I'm repeating it. Thinking is another big thing. So without thinking, nothing happens, sir. When you're planning to go to your college or the class, you start thinking, how am I going to reach today? Similarly, when you start your first year students teaching, how are you going to teach them? I'm going to innovate how I'm going to make my students understand graphics properly, engineering drawing. Okay. So think of it. So now everybody is in the process of, don't call this revolution kind of thing. No revolution, sir. We're not fighting against anybody. No. It is evolution. You got to evolve ourselves. So that happens in a day in and day out. Every day we have to add something. Before going to bed, ask yourself, what did I learn today? How much is going to help me today and tomorrow and my children for the future? We always think how we can able to just better our things. Yeah. So yet another point, I just simply scribbled some points while addressing all our president. And now, another thing, sir. Mechanical engineering was there in the first economy, industrialized economies, and it kept on keeping pace with the changing times. Why suddenly this question? What happens to mechanical engineering? And alarm, those people who don't have anything in mind, yet so-called the universities sending the letters to the institutions. Don't close. So that's also a challenge. Okay. So we will be there, we will be part of new economy, sir. When our India is planning to have a $5 trillion in coming 30, that's by 2030, it's possible. Why not? Yes, we have to encourage our students to come out with the, I drive another thing, sir, like entrepreneurism. Call it as it should be a life, way of life. It's not the entrepreneur alone. It's entrepreneurism. You can see my WhatsApp status. It is entrepreneurism. That should become a way of life. We promote. Okay, start with 5 lakhs at 50,000 rupees investment. Start your business. Such that will be giving some employment. Who thought that water can also be sold? Bisleri, for example. Now it's a whopping 2 lakh crores worth business today. Selling water. So likewise, lot many things are there. And look at the agri sector. Even poor, lot of produce comes there. Agriculture, the forest produce. There may be so many. I have seen some artisans are there. So how can we connect them and improve certain things? It's all local people have to think differently. How that angles are, economic angle, everywhere. As I told you, mechanical engineers trying to be the managers. That means you should have knowledge about economy. We had one subject, industrial economics, industrial engineering economics. No, industrial IE. No, we had that. We know how we have a balance sheet too. Patent CPM, OR. Okay, time and motion study. So all those things are there. Well, now coming back to that last point, and I conclude, and I'll be open for discussions. Okay. So, what is mechanical engineering? What is mechanical? Why I am so confident that so long human being is there, mechanical engineering is going to be there. You know, that will die along with mankind, not before. Why? Mechanical means, sir, movement and force. Movement and force. Everything we are mimicking now, biomechanics. We are mimicking now, robo, human being. Now we have started mimicking our brain. Yes, it's possible. No? Anything you talk about, ultimately, movement and force. So long these two are there, mechanical engineering will be there. Without the force, no movement. How are you going to get the force? Okay. So don't have any, it's not that like a challenge kind of thing. Yes, of course, every day is a challenge. You know. So this slide is relevant, sir. Whatever I've just shown you. I made a presentation for today with only 19 slides. I'll share with you. You can just use it. Whatever I just spoken now, all those things are there in revolution, etc. Okay. So these are the small things, sir. So mechanical engineering, past was glorious. Present, we have started feeling little bit because we don't want to change. Sir, it has to be changed. We need to change. Even the IC engine. Okay. Rudolf Diesel invented his engine using peanut oil, sir. Afterwards, we had a lot of mineral oils available. What to do with changes have been made to the table. So that way I got the invitation. So we say, Eureka, I just found new thing, and no, actually that engine has been designed to run a peanut oil. Okay. Today we produce so many PhDs on that. So it's again a wheel, it's recycling. Okay. So all these things are happening, sir. Think of it. The mechanical engineer is going to be there and it will be there forever. Okay. And when I was a student, we used to talk about evergreen. Mechanical evergreen. Yes, it's evergreen. Only thing is our thought process must be changed. Change is the only constant. Without change, nothing is going to be permanent. You know, that means make it or break it in our hands. That's the teachers. So we are the game changers. So have this with this, and I'm wishing everybody a wonderful learning experience for the coming 6 days. And I must compliment and congratulate the top management of CIT and the total team of teachers. Great effort, sir. In the pandemic, you just made this distance very short and come together. Okay, congratulations, you too. Sir, I'm now open for any questions.
It is indeed an interesting and productive session, sir. I hope we have questions from the participants. Participants, the session is open for question and answers. You can just unmute yourself and ask if you have any questions. Participants, you can unmute yourself and ask the questions if you have one.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, go ahead. Sachin.
Sir. Sir, nowadays the government is trying to have a tender jobs. Sir, they are not creating their jobs, sir, in government sectors. How can you feel, sir, in upcoming years the government would change our support to the mechanical engineers?
Well, my dear, it's really indeed a wonderful question, not good question alone. See, first of all, you are an engineer, okay? So here also, like in Bihar, and anyway, everybody to start in Karnataka or Andhra Pradesh, when I was working, every student wants good job. I just asked simple question: what is that good job? You know, then they said government job. That means we are not ready to utter a full word government. You are saying good job. You know. So if that is the attitude, you will not get it. And one more thing I tell you, sir. Right now, if you look at the economics, because all the mechanical engineers are to be economists too. So right now we have in the country close to 2.3 crore government jobs, all put together, sir, including that 15 lakhs defense services, you know, all 3 services together. So these jobs includes PSCs too, public service, public sector units, or semi-government, all the things put together. So 2.3 crores. So now, what is the population? We have this much. And the government's major chunk, the major budget goes towards the pensions. The salary component of 2.3 crore people is almost equal to the pension, because the life expectancy of this country also increased. Now I retired at the age of 60. And I even go up to my father retired at the age of 58. And I have lived in up to 94. Now his pension is coming to my mother. Okay, so meaning they're based on inflation, their DA twice a year changes. So things are changing that way. And if this is the Indian scenario, okay, globally, these government jobs are tenure track itself. If it's a police department, yes, you are a government employee. Okay, for 5 years only. No, next tenure. tenure track kind of thing, no pension as such. Of course, there is a what is the social security. So when you become age old, then government has to, only 3 things government has to do, sir. They have no business to be in business. When they are not going to have any businesses, okay. So you start on business, sir, that gives you lifetime security, however small it is. However small it is, it gives you, for example, I take an example of distillery water. Okay. So if that being the case, sir, 2.3 crores, okay, that much jobs are created. That's the government sector. And industries, railways has around 6 lakh employees. And Reliance has got close to 10 lakh employments in this country. My company is very small. That provided direct employment for 300 plus people. Indirectly, maybe about 1,000 plus. Okay. So one man started a small company, okay, to his own earnings with one system in place, one employee, and today, in 12 years' time, it has almost have the direct and indirect together about 1,000 plus employees. They're getting the salaries. Okay. So meaning one entrepreneur in 10 years' time can be able to rose to the level of providing 100 employments also good enough, sir. So there will not be any unemployment problem. Yes, now large kind of things. So all the government jobs, of course, I got a little reservation about reservation system in our country. Okay. So everywhere we have to have certain things. Of course, there's a big contentious issue. I don't want to touch upon it. So as an intellectuals, we are not supposed to be worried about it. Okay. So I got selected to Indian Air Force, but I didn't join. I got up to interview for Indian Railways permanent way inspectorship. No. Okay. And I was in America. I could have settled there now, but I came back to India. It all depends again individuals. But most of the people want government job. What for? Security. Only for security. Okay. So getting government job is difficult, and removing from the government job much more difficult. That's the reason why most of the people they wanted it. And here it's a job and work, two different things, sir. Don't mistake me. Most of the people want to have a government job, not the work. For working, you go to the Tahsildar office, you go to the district officer or RTO and other things, they also get the salary. You'll be more happy to pay them something off, to get your work done fast. So their interest lies in there. Okay. So it's not going to make any good as it is. So instead, Western countries, nobody really bothered with government jobs, sir. NASA is like a private only, funded by the government. So there is only talent pool. If you have kind of things, no rocket will go. So ultimately, it's only talent, sir. Those who have got talents, they have can. So think of it. The government has got no business to be business. Only this country for populistic measures. So everybody talking about promising lot many things. So I'm sorry to say, lot many things are happening in the schools. The teachers are being recruited based on so many things, sir. These students purchased degrees and they're getting government jobs. What happens to future generation? Are we really bothered about it? No. We're indifferent. Being different is a welcome sign, but being indifferent is a wrong, sir. What happens to your children if the children are taught by such kind of teachers? What happens to him? It's quite unfortunate. You might have seen in our WhatsApp, it was circulating. One English teacher writing NATURE, FUTURE, and reading it nature and future kind of thing. Nature and future. So all these things will come into pictures. Even I qualified in the prelims of UPSC, but unfortunately I could not able to get into the mains. There was a movie kind of incident happened. I could not reach my exam center. So all those things happen. But the thing is, at the end of the day, what matters is how efficient you are. don't think of government jobs. You know, you are efficient, effective, you have a lot of opportunities there. You know, and make them entrepreneurs. That is the only thing we had here. How small it is, that's secondary. You know, everything, your long journey starts with a single step, sir. You know, put your step in the right direction. That takes you to the, it's a journey. Life is a journey, not a destination. Okay. I feel like, you know, government jobs is a fun and false. Anything else, sir?
No, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Participants, if you have any more questions, you can please ask with sir. Okay. I guess there are no more questions. So let us wind up this session, sir.
Okay. I think we're on time.
Yeah, we are on time, sir. So I request all the participants to give the feedback of this session. The link of the same is shared in the chat box, and it will also be shared in the WhatsApp group. Okay, we are at the end of the session of this 6 days online national level FDP on recent developments in mechanical engineering. I'd like to thank Dr. C. Venkatramana Reddy, Vice Chancellor, KK University, Nalanda, Bihar, who in spite of his busy schedule accepted our invitation and engaged this session and shared a lot of vital information on the past, present and future of mechanical engineering. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, and all the best to all the participants, and I wish you a good and great learning. And thank you.
Thank you, Reddy sir,
Thank you, sir.
for
Thank you.
accepting my invitation. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
I'd
much.
also like to thank Sri C.P. Belliappa, President, Kodava Education Society, Dr. M.C. Karyappa, Vice President, Kodava Education Society, Sri C.P. Rakesh Povaya, Secretary, Kodava Education Society, for joining this session. I'd also like to thank Dr. M. Basavaraj, Principal, Cool Institute of Technology, and Mr. Timaya Eji, HOD, Department of Mechanical Engineering, for their all support in organizing this event. Thank you, all the participants, for joining this session. We'll take a small break and come back for the second session at 11:30 a.m. by Dr. G.C. Mohan Kumar, Professor, NITK Surathkal, who will be speaking on the mechanical engineering